because this happened to me. I almost went bankrupt 3 times in the first 12 months of opening this business. What were some of the lowest points for you as a manager?
The lowest points were like when it genuinely felt like you didn't know what to do and how to get out of a spiral.
The dangerous thing about a spiral is you never really know when it started.
No, you only feel it when it's at its worst point. A lot of the guys that are watching are gym owners, managers. Every client that you have is coming into your gym. They want the newest way to, row inverted on a ski erg because it's the cool new thing or whatever it may be. But reality, it's like show up 3 times a week, get 8 hours worth of sleep and track your macros. So you don't need to do everything in 90 days. You just need to do one thing well before you move on to the next thing. People care more about their high rocks time than they do about their revenue line or like how they show up to their team as gym owners.
If only they trained their team as much as they all train for a fucking high rocks race.
Yeah.
Their gyms or their studios would be fucking phenomenal.
All of the things that you say to them are the things you're not doing for your business yourself. It is absolutely hard. It will cost you, but it is also the most important thing you can do right now. If you do everything, you end up doing nothing or you do it all 60%.
Above everything, what's been the unlock for you to be able to help so many established studio owners that were doing 50K months already break through into that sort of $1 million range? Most studio owners don't lose because they don't care or because they're not passionate about it. They lose because they enter the back half of the year with no momentum. So today we're joined with the man captaining what we call in the Academy separation season, which started at the start of September, which is the system to make sure your 2025 is your record year, not a repeat of last year's mistakes. So, Rhino, you're here.
I'm here, first time.
You're on the pod.
It's exciting.
Meet the family. These are the listeners. These are the fucking listeners.
It's like an AA. So my name's Ryan. No, but it's nice. It's good to be here.
So obviously everyone in the Academy knows who the frig you are. You're Captain Rhino. But for anyone else out there, and even to reintroduce yourself to our Academy members.
Yeah.
Tell me, let's go right back. What's the Rhino backstory?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the industry for, like the fitness industry for around 10 years. And it was predominantly in F45. So started as a studio, like just a coach at a studio on the Gold Coast. It was F45 Helensvale. And then through that progression, moved into like a head trainer role. Then the opportunity came up with a studio that was brand new and opening in 2018 at F45 Hope Island and became the studio manager. And across the 2 studios that I worked at, we took both to 300 members.
You're being too humble. You, and people can definitely at me for this if they don't agree with me, and I'll arm wrestle them. You single-handedly took those studios to the 300 club, not once, but you did that in and out of different lockdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know there was a team there, but the team still needed a captain.
For sure.
So, like, that's massive.
Yeah, you think back at it, because it was a little while ago now, and you think back at it and like, I guess it is an awesome achievement because that's also 600 people plus lives that you've changed too. So, and not just like it's definitely something that I'm really proud of for sure. And like for you to say that it's just me, like it definitely was a team effort, but I definitely was able to like help drive that result for sure.
I know, because you were a client for a second and then the owner kind of ejected.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was... It was probably the fastest onboarding, offboarding in history.
It's funny. I actually was talking to Benny the other day, and I was scrolling back through the DMs that you and I had. And now we have a lot more.
Yeah.
And there was one from you. I think it was November or December 2020. No. And it was shit, Rhino. That was fast.
Really?
Yeah, still there.
Wow.
So yeah, that it was a short period. But you know what? It's funny because like I'm here now and legitimately that made a genuine like imprint on what I wanted to potentially continue to do in the industry, because you scroll down a few more DMs and here I am talking to you pre the job opportunity coming up here around like what I'd like to do in the industry moving forward. And it was definitely like something along the lines of what you guys do at Geronimo.
Fucking goosebumps, bro.
That's cool.
Do you remember, and I want you to touch on like some of the lowest points that you had managing those studios to the 300 club in a second. But you're an example of people that, and we know that there must be hundreds of them out there in Australia, New Zealand, all the other countries, even Tasmania, who are
Australia,
who are awesome people that have got massive potential, but with respect, they're just in a a small vehicle, right? And like we saw potential in you that you were showing, but you were just sort of in a smaller container as such. So side note, and a bit of a call to action, just completely off the cuff here. It's not even on these notes. If you like, we are always looking for talent. Okay, so if you're one of those people who actually want to genuinely make a fucking big impact in this industry and help people, and like one thing that you told us was like it's hard to get promoted to an owner.
Yes.
Right, and you feel like you're getting stuck, then reach out to me on my DMs, hey.dozer on Instagram, and message me job. I don't know.
Job.
Job. But back to you. What were some of the lowest points for you as a manager?
You know, it's funny because we'll go into like talking about like, you know, systems and processes and the things that we do here in Geronimo and help. But like when everything felt like it was on your shoulders around like why things weren't working and then having no actual structure on how to fix that shit and then feeling like a constant failure. And then every single day, because this is before we grew back to 300 members, or even then once we got there and started dipping down, like the lowest points were like when it genuinely felt like you didn't know what to do and how to get out of a spiral.
Right. Now, the dangerous thing about a spiral is you never really know when it started.
No, you only feel it when it's at its worst point.
Wow.
And at that point, oftentimes, like I won't say it's too late to ever get out of it because I'm sure we have a lot of owners that come in at that spiral point because they've found us through probably this podcast or whatever it may be. But it's really fucking hard to get out of that spiral, especially by yourself.
So how did you?
Well, I mean, I binged your free content, if I'm honest.
Well, yeah, tell me more about that. Because I actually want guys, I love it when you guys do that. I love receiving messages on my Instagram about you guys just taking this free stuff and just implementing it and then, you know, having those breakthroughs. I want you to do that.
Yeah, and you know what? It's one thing we teach at the academy right now, and it's true. Boring is the battlefield. And so...
Explain that.
Well, I'll use it from a point of view of like a lot of the guys that are watching are gym owners, managers, hopefully like PTs, whatever it may be, right? Take it from a point of view of like every client that you have is coming into your gym, right? They want to lose weight and they want the newest way to, you know, row inverted on a ski erg because it's the cool new thing or whatever it may be. But reality, it's like show up 3 times a week, get 8 hours worth of sleep and track your macros, right? So like getting really proficient at the boring, and from a studio point of view, that is, you know, making sure that you have an avatar that you actually represent as opposed to trying to advertise to absolutely everyone because that just makes you out to be Times Square, and it's pretty easy to get ignored in Times Square with all the bright colors. It's the way that I look at it. So having someone you speak to, and then when their lead comes in, calling them and probably following the free script that I definitely stole, and you guys can too. Think of your DM.
So you actually stole the script, which you were allowed to, and you used it.
100%.
What were the things that you did to get the 300 that you might have kind of taken from us for free and then executed? So
I was just getting into it. So it's absolutely like having a message, right? You need to stand for someone. So that's the part of it. So just no free trials, no $7 trials, like actually having some sort of value against your name. Definitely stealing the script and utilizing it. And the biggest thing that like Dozer used to always say, it still does, right? It's called fucking leads. So you guys have probably seen all the mystery shop calls, and how many people like still may not answer and then don't win the money.
45%.
Yeah, that's right. None of the guys in my pod. So, but those basic things consistently done, right? And there was a few other things along the way where, you know, I reached out and messaged and you know, was able to figure out maybe I can tweak a message here or there. But like for the most part, it was that level of advertising, that level of consistency, and that level of calling the leads and using the script.
What were a couple of breakthroughs that allowed you to get those studios up into that 300 club and to be sitting here right here today helping hundreds of studios all around the world now?
Yeah.
Dude, you went from 300 like members at the gym to 300 plus at the time of filming this, right? Like members in Geronimo. Like it actually is like, it's crazy to think about it. You do kind of get goosebumps around like the level of impact that I'm able to have now, which is cool. So I guess some of the breakthroughs, like it genuinely was like outside of the script and those kind of things. Like when I realized that doing a deadlift on a blue track versus doing a deadlift on a green track or on a different, no one was actually there for the 45-second workout. Right. And then people then go on about community. Right. And like some people might stay for that stuff, but again, not like everyone's got a community now. Right. I saw on the wall at a 24/7 gym the other day,
like best community or join for. And like, now everyone's, so that's a buzzword too. Right?
Yeah, communities almost can also just happen. If the four of us in this room here got stuck in a lift,
It's a community.
eventually we'd form a community.
Yeah, that's right. I'd be the leader. But so it wasn't just that stuff. Like what it was is from within that, like then actually formulating. So this is how, by coming to our F45 studio, we help you.
Right.
So having like what we would call a unique value proposition now, but like having something that like you can pinpoint. What I say to a lot of owners in the academy now, and what I didn't realize that I was probably subconsciously doing from, again, the free content, so definitely binge it, is like we became Hope Island, F45. Not F45 Hope
Which is
Island.
a good message for, our next couple of guests, they're all from franchise. Like it is definitely, I think, a really good message for those that are in a franchise.
Yeah, and if you use the Gold Coast as an area, like you could pull up your phone and your map and where I live or in that area, and there's 15 gyms within 5Ks.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what your franchise is. It comes down to how you represent and help a certain segment of people, because there's a ton of those people in your area.
I think you've totally undersold how much of a leader you actually are, though, as well. And, when we interviewed you, I remember when we interviewed you, you were wearing your Roosters top and I was at Centennial Park. And I said, what do you reckon your superpower was? And I think you said something along the lines of like, culture and leadership and like being able to take that team in and out of the 300 club multiple times. I definitely think a script can help you get there, because someone needs to be sold. But if you weren't good at leadership and building a team and culture, you would have just got really busy on the phones.
Yeah.
And the rest of it, right? Like 300, you can get to 300. You can't just get there by making sales. You've got to keep those people.
Absolutely.
And so my question to you is like, why do you believe, structure for a studio owner? Like effectively, and I'll say this, you were the studio owner, dude. Like I probably might get a DM or two for saying this.
Yeah.
But the actual owner was absent.
A lot of the time.
Yeah. So that was you. I know I'm getting spicy. So like, that's why I know our clients know that you get it, because that was you, just, whatever. So why do you believe in structure and traction above all else?
I think that's a good question. So like, I think like one of the things that I do well, and a lot of like, again, I'll speak directly to like the managers here, like, cause that was me. Like the owners can definitely take part of this, but you are the owners. But when you're in that role, like, it sounds almost cliche, but acting like, or not pretending, but like taking ownership of like, I'm just going to treat this like it's my business.
Yeah, as if, like taking it as if it's your business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like then not only do you make the decisions based on what would a studio owner do to drive the result they want, but then how would you lead the team? And then structure is really, really important. And we're in separation season within the academy at the moment. So what I learned...
Good segue.
What I learned was there is, and you guys know this, right? There's so much to do, right? But there are varying levels of like things that are important. And so like, again, like separation season, but focusing on the one, maybe two, but preferably one thing that's going to move the needle the fastest in the shortest period of time, and then just owning that. And that could be like, I had to learn how to delegate to my team so I wasn't holding on to too much of the other stuff. So a really good example is like running a challenge internally for the members. Like the leads and the growing the studio doesn't stop. The challenge is really important, but it's not the most important thing. So delegating the running of that to someone else and just handing it off. And yeah, they need to have the training to do it, but understanding that there are things that someone should work on for business growth and things that someone should work on within the gym, and knowing that you can't own them all has probably been was probably one of the biggest things that I learned, which is one of the biggest things we teach now. Like if you do everything, you end up doing nothing, or you do it all 60%.
You've been able to coach so many studios to hit their best month ever. And these aren't rookies. These are people that have been in business for 8 years, 6 years, 3 years. Not bludgers.
No.
Not bludgers.
Definitely not.
Well, what's been the unlock? If you could really like pause to think about, like, above everything, what's been the unlock for you to be able to help so many established studio owners that were doing 50K months already break through into that sort of $1 million range?
It never gets any different. Like the boring is the battleground. You'll get to a certain level as a studio owner, and we do see it all the time in the academy, right? Where because we're at a certain revenue level where we think we're above certain things, And because we haven't actually installed the process or the system to hand it off so someone else actually owns it, it gets pushed away. So rather than just like quick Band-Aid fix, playbook something out so that I can pass it off so I can keep focusing on what I want to focus on, actually going back to, well, why is it broken?
Right.
What do I need to do to fix it for good? How can I then make sure that my team understand how to do it through an SOP or a playbook? So that's really like my big focus with you. Fix that one constraint, offload it forever so that you can make sure that then when you're moving on to the next thing, it doesn't break again and keeps you in that. It just becomes like a hamster wheel otherwise. So fixing that.
Okay, so it's like it's helping them realize the difference between signal versus the noise.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And just like 90% of what you're doing probably doesn't matter right now.
Yep, 95.
Here's the one thing. 95. Here's the one thing.
Yep.
And then let's playbook that. And then you help them playbook that with their team so that it never keeps coming like a boomerang.
Yeah, but I'd actually say like before you get to the playbook point, like you actually have to understand why the fuck it broke in the first place.
That's probably it, right?
A lot of people, yeah, exactly. Like I love you guys, but like you all have ADHD. And like we all have shiny objects.
Shout out to the ADHD group.
We all have shiny object syndrome too.
Yeah.
So that broke because like you kind of got it to about 80%. You're like, fuck yeah, let's go to the next thing. So let's go back and that's usually how I work with a lot of the guys that come in that aren't just focused on like that initial acquisition stuff. They're a little bit higher up, or the guys that have been 50K with us for a while, right? Cool. So my process now is like, why are you not at 80, at 60, 70, 80? Because the thing that really will get you there isn't fully solved. So like understand why and understand how to do it, really understand it, then implement it, then again and again and again, and then playbook it and then teach it and then teach it, and then you can let it go.
Yeah,
it's too fast otherwise.
So let's get into it. What the fuck is separation season? Now, for a start, let me jump in with like some of the strategy stuff, and then I want you to just hammer down, okay? So like there's only two big money-making moments throughout the entire year. We're in one right now, okay? If you fuck this up these next 3 months, what'll happen, because this happened to me. I almost went bankrupt 3 times in the first 12 months of opening this business. The first time was about now, where the first time was my first winter, cooked it. I didn't know about it. No one told me about it. Where were the members? Everyone went on pause. They went to Europe. Like that really hurt. Like I was so close to shutting our doors, and that was within the first, we opened in December. So that was within the first like 12 months, right? The second part was because I missed winter, no one told me about spring. So this whole jump, completely missed it.
Yeah.
So then what happened was when we went into the absolute worst time of the year was Christmas, the holiday season. Like no one wants to sign up to a gym membership on Christmas Eve. So bang, bang, bang. I was dazed. I was almost like on the ropes, about to get knocked the fuck out. Luckily, we had another chance in the new year, and I was waiting for winter, just fucking waiting for it to come around again. And that's when we had the Winter Warrior. Shout out to those that did Winter Warrior. Got the churn down to like sub 2% across winter. Unheard of, incredible. And then through winter, I was like, come on, spring, I'll fucking knock you out. So then when spring turned up, we were the first to jump in the market. Everyone else was still, packing up their tools for winter. We were the first to jump, and then we hammered, and then we went into the summer kind of Christmas season, and we rolled out Summer Survivor. So we turned the 3 worst times into our 3 best times. Now, what that meant was for studios that don't have the strategy that you're going to run through, what'll happen is you're going to limp in, like I did, limped into the next year, tail between my legs, wounded, broken, low energy, another 12 months.
It's dangerous.
I don't know if I could do it. Versus winning this season right now and then heading into Christmas with your membership nice and healthy, and then have a strategy for what happens then, which we'll go over in a different episode. So then you come into the new year and you are already 2 or 3 months ahead of your competitors, dominated.
Yeah.
Gyms, Pilates, pole dancing, it doesn't matter.
Combat.
Same thing, right? So, Rhino, in your own words, what is separation season?
You need to look at it like this is, Dozer just said a lot of it, like you need to look at it, this is your opportunity to like absolutely separate yourself from the rest of the industry and actually own the fuck out of that. So what broad strokes, like separation season is if you don't want to be one of those gyms that like is limping into it, you need to triple down on like your level of intensity, first of all, is a big part at the moment. And we're seeing it like, if you need to be really passionate and excited about what you're doing at the moment and drive the fuck out of like, this is our time to be different. I don't actually think you need to overcomplicate things. You need to make sure that we call it like the green line, right?
Okay. So yeah, explain that. Like explain what matters now.
What matters now is like if we'd love to see all of our studios hit over 100 members in the next 90 days. But we have a bare minimum that we're looking at called the green line, which is a net 3 growth. Now,
per week.
Per week, that's right.
Yeah.
Per week. So I want to clarify, it's net 3. So it's not just signing 3 new members or rollovers. Like you need to make sure you're incorporating your churn into that as well. So we're growing by net 3 per week. By doing that, right, what you're doing is you are making sure that you are consistently growing your membership base so that you are getting to the end of November, going into the season in summer where people might go on pause or it's harder to get a membership, and you're not churning out so many people across summer, across Christmas, because you grew so much that you're hitting that period of time where you don't have enough members to be profitable. You have to wait all the way to the end of February now, really, before people. Because have you noticed that Christmas takes longer now, at least in Australia?
Dude, like I don't feel like people come into. Everyone thinks everyone comes back to the studios at like Jan 2.
No,
it's not till after Australia Day. Well, for those listening, it's like end of January because of Christmas holidays.
I remember back at again like at F45 when I was there, and like it was one year that it was like the 10th of February before some of our members came back, and I'm like, fuck, it's almost Easter.
That's because you were shit at marketing, right?
Well, then we joined up with you guys. But that's the thing. So like, don't get through that point. So net 3 growth. Now, how do you do that?
Okay. So what are the 2 to 3 core principles behind it? Like, and I want you to sort of do like unpack, because we won't have time to go through the entire playbook. If you want should we give them, how do we give them the playbook? Because I want to help these guys as much as possible. Should we?
I reckon they should probably like give us a follow and maybe send us a DM system.
Okay. So come to my Instagram, hey.dozer.
Yep.
Follow, and then message me separation season.
Yep.
And
we'll send something over to them.
We've got this playbook. We took everyone through. We'll give you the playbook, and then we might have to. And then there might be a workshop on. We definitely have a workshop. By the time you listen to this, depending on how you reach us, it might be a bit too late. But yeah, message me the words separation season, and we'll give you the playbook. But what are the 2 to 3 core principles right now that our clients are hammering?
Yep. So again, first of all, biggest thing is like, it depends on the level that your studio is at. But like, let's look at the basics, right? So like 20 leads a week, first and foremost, generating 20 leads a week because.
But my lead flow's fucked.
Lead flow's fucked?
But I haven't generated 20 leads a week in fucking since before COVID.
Yeah. Cool. How are you speaking? Again, do you speak to everyone or try to speak to everyone?
Well, yeah, because I just want more people to touch the ads.
Yeah. So you need to absolutely understand, like, what is your point? Like, why did you open your studio, first and foremost?
To help give the local people of whatever the same transformation that I had.
Cool. So is any of that like represented anywhere on any of your marketing?
Well, we use Canva.
Cool. Canva. A lot of people use Canva. I'm not going to say don't use Canva. What I'm going to say is like, don't spend hours and hours making the prettiest Canva image you possibly can.
What should I do instead?
You need to make sure that you are talking to the person you want to attract more of. Like,
how do I know what they want to know about?
Well, I'm pretty sure you've got hopefully a studio full of members you can go and ask.
Right. So I have to speak to them.
You do need to speak to your members. Yeah. And
can't I just ask my trainers?
You can ask your trainers to speak to them if you want to do it wrong. Like you ownership, right? So standards. So you own the studio, right? You guys came into this. Now, if you're someone, I'm going to say something that might not sit well with a lot of people.
That's right. No one's listening.
If you bought the gym to make money, and that's the only reason you did it, right? Like, that's probably why you're marketing shit too, because you're just trying to bring as many people in as possible. So like, unless you're a 24/7 gym, like that's not really the standard anymore. It's not really going to work. So, and also if you bought the gym just for yourself, like again, that's probably a reason, but most of you guys didn't. There's some sort of reason that you bought into this franchise, this independent gym, whatever it may be. So take that ownership. Don't pass it off to your trainers. Like, speak to your members, be in the gym, be the face, be the face. So one of the biggest things that we're finding is like, as people buy from people, right? So if you're not getting lead flow coming in, no one actually understands who you are or what you are, because they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to start talking to the members that you do have around who they were before they found you, what they were interested in from you, build a marketing advertising campaign off the back of that, because you want to attract more of those people, and then get your face on your Instagram, on your ads, talking to the people that you're going to sell to. I made this place because of X, and here's how we do it.
We're playing around a little bit there, but like we have literally seen like the before and afters of people's lead flow that's been stuck to then they've been unblocked without actually touching anything happening in the ads manager, but by actually adjusting what's happening on their organic socials. It's no longer surprising. You know, when we see that shift happen, it's no longer a surprise anymore. What it absolutely is now is, you know, doing content isn't just like something you get to at the end of the day. If someone happens to take a photo at the 9:30, it's actually like, you know, the way that our clients are moving ahead right now and unblocking lead flow is because they're building their personal brands, they're working on their organic content, and their ads are speaking to one person solving one problem with one profitable offer. Okay, so there's that. Let's say they get the lead flow. What happens?
Cool. I got a point then, like you're going to get leads coming through, and we've spoken about it before. Are you calling them within 5 minutes, I believe, right? So 5 minutes. So what happens when you do that? And we've seen it across the board, right? I'll tell a story. Like I won't name the person, but there was a studio that recently came in, right? And they actually didn't have an issue with lead flow, which is nice. It's great. And so what we were starting to solve with them was a sales process. And then the first thing is like, so I think they were getting about 30 leads a week, which is great. Awesome. When were they calling them? They were calling them on their time. So it wasn't within 5 minutes. And also like the person they were speaking to, I won't go into it, but they were mums, right? So when were all these phone calls happening? Well, what time did gyms normally not have classes? Like 11 to 12 or 2 to 3?
Pick up, drop off,
baby sleep times. Like it wasn't really working. So you need
hard mode.
Definitely hard mode, ultra hard. So leads within 5 minutes, first of all.
No one's picking up, Rhino.
No one's picking up? Well, I mean, again, probably because you're calling them at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. So like if when you are hitting that, like you hit them within 5 minutes, they're gonna answer more often than not. 100 times more likely as the study. You guys have heard Dozer say that all the time. But if you are playing the follow-up game on their time, not yours, right? So it's not when you're available. So it's a season, right, too. So if you're gung-ho and you want to grow your gym and your demographic that you're targeting that has worked and the people in your gym have told you this, you can call me around 6 because that's when I normally answer, and you cook dinner at 6, put in some AirPods.
Yeah. Magic was on the pod a couple of weeks ago, right? And he's still on the phones right now. He's calling people. He's making sales as we speak. And he reckons it's as late as 7 p.m. now and as early as 8 a.m. to start making those calls. So like he definitely breaks things up throughout the day as well. So, okay, unblock your lead flow. Fixing your sales system and your sales follow-up game and just making sure you've reorganized your day so you can get to those leads within 5 minutes. Harvard says if you get to those leads within 5 minutes, you're 100 times more likely to get a successful pickup and sale. The new stat is if you can get them within 1 minute, you're 300 times.
Yeah, we've used to play a game where like, can you get someone to answer when they're still on your instant form?
Correct. So there's that. Give us the third principle. Give us the third principle right now that is probably a little bit different that people might not expect. That is really helping people separate themselves, not from just their competitors, but maybe from like a previous version of themselves.
Yeah. So it's no secret, but it's also something people don't hold enough of, like holding themselves to a standard. So one, like who do you want to be? As a leader, but as a human, right? Like this is the big thing. Like we're not just in this to make money. Like hopefully not. Like we're in it to have an impact and things like that. And we're in the fitness industry too. There's standards. Like, you know what's funny? And I love high rocks, but like people care more about their high rocks time than they do about their revenue line or like how they show up to their team as gym owners.
If only they trained their team as much as they all train for a fucking high rocks race, their gyms would be, or their studios would be fucking phenomenal.
100%, absolutely, because I see some absolute units out there running around the track, but they've got 10 leads in their inbox they haven't called for a week. So it's the standards, guys. Like, who do you want to be? And then you know what? Like, we all talk, like a lot of us are parents too. Like, we all talk about like, what do the kids see, right? Like be the person that you want your child to grow up to be and stuff like that. Well, if you're also like internally or not complaining about like your team or they're not doing the right things, like they're probably looking at what you're doing.
So what's the tangible thing that people can do?
So be show up. Be the standards that you need to make sure you're holding yourself to are the things that you like. It's the basics again. So doing the things you said you're going to do, holding yourself accountable, planning your day, sticking to your time block, actually putting in the work early. There's a thing called Separation Sunday. You might have heard us talk about it.
Huge. It's massive in South Korea.
South Korea? I thought it was big in North Korea. But honestly, like I'll go back again, binging, stealing all the content. Like that's the first thing I remember, or one of the first things I remember taking. And it wasn't
Separation Sunday.
Yeah, 100%.
Was it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was. I think again, scroll back up the Instagram DMs. I think there was a Sunday DM in there.
Fuck yeah.
And I was a studio manager. Like there's some stuff in there that like I didn't think was relevant. Like, but it all is. It doesn't matter if you're a bartender or not. You can still use it. Set up your week. That's going to, with the things you need to do each day, they're going to move you forward. Now it's not a to-do list.
No.
So if you have a goal of like signing 10 members by the end of the week, what are the tangible things each day you can do that's going to move you towards that? Review it each night. Time block your day to work on those things because there will always be noise, right? So make sure that time is noiseless and then execute on those. And not only will your team see you doing it and they'll start to follow the standard, but you'll actually notice that you're getting the results you're after. The results that you're looking for are on the other side of the work you're avoiding.
That's hot.
Patent pending.
I honestly, like the shift that I've seen, the way that you're sort of captaining the academy at the moment, the shift that I've seen in not only the intensity of what people are doing, and how many of them are on the green line, how many of them that are on the orange line, which is like net 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
That are now peeking up into the green line. The biggest thing that's helped these guys in terms of a mindset shift that I implore every single listener right now to lean in on this one, which is where are you still dabbling in your business? And now is the time to turn pro. On every block in the country, there will be a studio on there that is probably part of our program and they have decided to turn pro, to jump on the green line. The time's going to happen between now and the next 90 days. It's going to happen. The time will pass. You can either be on the green line, which is the pro line. You can be on the black line, which is what we call the dabble line. Like nothing's going to change between now and the next 90 days. You're still fucking dabbling. You've still got a bit of a manager. You've still got a bit, you've kind of got an admin person. You've kind of got a playbook. You kind of get to the leads. You've got 3 people kind of in charge of the KPI for sales. Like something like that. That's kind of dabbling.
Yep.
Or then you've got the line that I do not want any person listening to this episode to be on, which is the burnout line, which is the red line.
Absolutely.
And that just goes down. Right?
And that's the spiral we were speaking about before.
That is absolute the spiral. Now, the good news is for every single person listening to this podcast, the decision to turn pro that's all it is. It's a decision.
It is.
It's a decision. And all you need at this point is to stop the difference between the pros, the dabblers and the burnouts and the brokies is not that the pros still don't have the fears. So it's not in absence of fears.
No.
It's the fact that they decided to stop running away from them.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. And you know what? It is a decision to turn pro, right? It's free, but it will cost you.
What will it cost you?
So it's going to cost you the identity of your former self. It might cost you some of the habits or the friends or the things that you were doing that you knew were comfortable, right? It's going to cost you some comfort for sure. The things that you gain off the back of that are tenfold. But it's free, but it's going to cost you, and it's hard. But do hard things. Again, we go back to like, look at it from the point of view of like the person you're trying to convince to come into your gym to train with you, who might be overweight. That is a hard thing for them. All of the things that you say to them are the things you're not doing for your business yourself. So it is absolutely hard. It will cost you, but it is also the most important thing you can do right now, because if you don't make that decision, it'll be Christmas tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, the standard, like if you're on a block with one of the owners of a studio that's in our academy, good luck.
Yeah.
Like, because these guys are dominating. Like they're unblocking their lead flow. They're making 40% sales conversion rates off cold leads, right? The paid leads, 80% on the organic stuff. They're selling by phone. They're selling by chat. They're getting 2 sales a day. The standard previously was 1 sale a day. Now it's 2 sales a day because we've picked up the intensity.
Absolutely.
Right? Now, those sales that are coming in, they're coming in on an intro pack, some kind of intro program that is profitable from day one.
Not $7 for 7 days.
Not free, not $7 for 7 days, and we're not selling access. Like for the Pilates and the wellness people, it's not 5 for 50s, okay? Most people turn up their pricing 3 times within the first 6 weeks of joining us, okay? Then what happens is off the back of that, 80% of those people stay on to a full-time membership, paying full price, minus, the academy average at the moment is 2 to 3% churn.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you take all that into consideration, the studios that are growing, like the opportunity there is to grow by somewhere between, 50 to 150 net members over the next 90 days. There is nothing else that exists in your world right now. S&P 500, a fucking Bitcoin, like nothing in your world exists that can give you a better return than what can happen if your business actually jumped by 100 net members or 50 net members.
Yeah, we've literally had people say this feels like winning the lotto.
Now, if you're stuck, most of those things, actually all those things are fixable, and they can be fixable within 30 days, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? So time is of the essence. We're going to run into a different pod. Why don't we talk about how to win the day next?
We should.
Because that's the fucking traction discipline, right?
Well, that goes back to if you're just setting out your week and you're doing nothing about it afterwards, like traction discipline, like you said, how do you know if you're moving forward or where you need to adjust?
So what I want to know is, okay, if you're listening and you're like, all right, separation season, I'm on, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't know anything about this, but now I do. I can't unhear this. I can't scroll past this. These winners are already playing next season. They're already playing into the next season while the losers are still stuck in this one trying to figure out which way's up. Okay? So I'd love you guys to comment underneath this reel when you see it out live, or message me at hey.dozer, DM me the word separation season, and we'll get Rhino's particular playbook on how our owners are dominating over the next 90 days. And we want you to as well.
Absolutely.
Do like what he did. Take as much as you can for free and dominate. And then if you run out of, and if you want to go faster, then play with us.
I'll just say one last thing, because that we're just throwing out a lot of stuff there too, right? And like I was a manager, like there'll be owners at the same situation saying like, fuck, like, yeah, I'll DM them, but it sounds like so much. Sale by chat leads, all this kind of stuff. The good news is like it's one thing at a time, being simple, being focused and unlocking that particular constraint before you move to the next. You don't need to do everything in 90 days.
Nah.
You just need to do one thing well before you move on to the next thing. So don't get shiny object syndrome.
With that, mate, well done. First step.
Yeah, it's good. I should come back.
Okay. Mate, I'm sure the client's going to be pumped. You can let your kids know that you actually have a real job.
Yeah, 100%. They did the Father's Day thing, and the job was dad works from home.
Mine said podcaster. And swears a lot.
Yeah. Mine swears a lot's definitely one of my things too.
That's so cool. All right. Happy Father's Day too, man.
Appreciate it.
Well done. See you next episode. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. If something resonated with you, then do one of two things. Either leave a review or send this episode to a mate who's in the industry who might need to hear this. But if you want more right now, because your head might be spinning and you're like, all right, what the hell do I do right now? Then in the show notes, you'll find a link to where you can book in for a free 15-minute checkup on your studio, where we get to have a look at how you're going right now and where some of the kind of quick win opportunities are to get you moving faster. I can't wait to be back in your ears next week. And if you're listening to this right now, I want you to know that I love you, I appreciate you, I'm grateful for you, and I'm in your corner. You are on the right track and I believe in you. So keep going, and I'll see you next week.